Test, 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 test. Hi folks, and welcome here to Hornet Studios. I'm Caleb Rose and you're watching a live report for tomorrow's game against Mays. It will start at 3 o'clock and it's between the 19-3 Mays Eagles and your 16-5 Valley Center Hornets, and very excited for this one. Mays having dropped 2 games to Hayesville campus and then one earlier in the season on the 15th of December. But other than that, that just shows not an unbeatable team. I'm very excited for this game, and Hornets team practicing behind us, they're very excited as well. I mean, this has been an anticipated matchup, and that was one of the things I talked about during the live stream, is making sure that you're focused on the here and now. But this is very much an anticipated game, and it will be at Mays, so it'll definitely be a big matchup. We'll come back in just a second for some player interviews. So I'm here with Gabe Phillips, coming off a double-double performance versus Mays South. What were your overall thoughts on the game?
We had some pretty good defense for the most part, because they had like 16 in the first half, I think. We got a little sloppy at the end, but we finished the game out, and that's always good. We rebounded really well. We almost doubled their rebounds. I think it was 49-25. We had Noah Simmons. He had 15 rebounds. Braden and Eli had 7, and then I had 11, so that was a big factor in the win.
And then coming up against Mays, obviously some really big scoring threats, a lot of guys on the inside. As of now, who's your matchup?
I have Kyle Grill at the moment, junior. I'm pretty familiar with him. Me and Eli are. We've played a lot of their dudes in the summer. We played them pretty well in the Cape and Summer League as well, but I think our big goal is just stopping middle drives and using Noah Simmons to protect the rim. But if we stop middle drives and protect the rim and rebound well, we'll have a great shot at winning on Saturday.
And obviously playoff time, season's coming down, and as a senior, what does it mean to you?
You just want to squeeze every ounce of the season you got left. Like, you don't want to leave anything on the table, so that's my goal, is just to leave it all out there.
Okay, thank you. Well, getting into sub-state, we obviously have to talk about the bracket, and your Hornets coming off a win against Mays South, seeded as number 2, and then we saw Eisenhower beat Goddard in the play-in game, and then Mays at home beat Eisenhower, and actually much better game than I would have expected. 12 points was the difference at the end of the game, and that's certainly going to have an impact. That was a game that I think really everyone expected to be a blowout, and Eisenhower stuck it in there without one of their best players, Nick Hogan. So definitely a key, something to look out for in the future. And then finally, for the last game of the sub-state, which will send a team to state between the number 1 seed Maize and the number 2 seed your Valley Center Hornets. I'm here with point guard Eli Isac, and you had a great performance against Maize South, 17.7 rebounds, 5 deflections, and 3 steals. And to anyone else, that seems like a crazy stat line, but for you, this has really become just a normal game. How does it feel knowing that you're up there with a lot of the top players in the state?
I mean, that feels good. That's a good thing to know. It just gives me a lot of confidence. One of my main things is getting assists and getting steals, and that leads to getting points. So I think it's just a big confidence booster knowing that I'm up there with those other leaders.
And then Maize, a lot of weapons, a lot of scoring threats. Who's going to be your matchup?
I'm going to be guarding one of their guards. We don't know for sure yet, but we're going to do a lot of switching. So I'll be guarding everyone most likely. But I know a lot of their players. I've trained with all of them, so it's going to be a pretty fun matchup.
And then senior season right here, starting to wind down to end of sub-state. What does it mean to you after having a great season?
It means a lot. I mean, it's starting to hit a little bit that this season's, 2 weeks max left. And that just means we got to go give it all we got on the court. There's no tomorrow if we lose. So we got to keep playing hard.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And for your Hornets, a little breakdown of what we saw last game against May South. I mean, obviously a great game. They got ahead there in the second quarter. Obviously, slow start there in the first quarter. 12-12 was the score after the first quarter. And then 16-4 was the scoring margin there in that second, really dominated by the Hornets. They shot 60% from the field there in that second quarter, and that's been one of my biggest things. When they shoot well, especially early in the season, we saw it quite a bit. When they shoot well, they're very much succeeding, and we saw it against Salina Central. That's going to be my biggest thing against Mays, is be able to shoot well, be able to find the hoop, and then spreading the ball. They did a great job of that against Mays South. Quite a few assists. I believe it was double-digit assists. And then we saw a lot of rebounding. 47 rebounds was the total for the Hornets against May South. Just an amazing margin. That's been another one of those things. They're getting almost half of the offensive rebounds that are available to them. And this Valley Center Hornets offense has played impeccable. Then against May South, defensively, we saw a man-to-man defense, and that's been their trademark so far this season. A lot of traps, man-to-man defense. Every one of these guys is athletic, and so it works out. They all communicate better than we've seen the Hornets teams do in the past, and those are going to be the things you have to watch out for against Mays. It will be streamed on NFHS, so keep that in mind and watch out for those. Having just talked about the Valley Center Hornets, a quick breakdown of the Mays Eagles. They're certainly a great team, as we've seen, currently ranked as the #1 team in the state after beating Salina South by a few points just a couple weeks ago. And this is going to be a team to watch out for. They have 6 guys. They don't rotate a lot of players, but those 6 guys know how to get it done at a very high level. We have guys like Avery Johnson, who starts at quarterback for the Eagles and plays just as well on the basketball court. He has multiple Division I offers for quarterback, and inside, I mean, he's really going to test the Hornets' inside game, how well they play in the paint. That's going to be big. Then we see 6'7" guard, and I said that right, 6'7" guard in Kyle Grill, absolute scorer, and he had a dunk package that actually got posted on Huddle's Instagram earlier this season. Very talented kid, knows how to score the ball naturally inside, very quick first step. Guys like Jacob Hanna, he's leading the team in points, and keep in mind, he's not even most known for his scoring. Just his overall athletic ability and his defense is what stands out about him. And he's still averaging almost 14 points a game. So Jacob Hanna, probably one of the best players, if not the best player, on the Mays Eagles. And that's going to be something to watch out for, that the Hornets have to pay attention to. He's going to be the guy that you got to keep your eyes on him at all times. And then a couple other guys, Winston Being, he was all-league last year as a junior. He can shoot the lights out. I mean, he is just an amazing NBA range three-point shooter. This Mays team has so many weapons, and as I mentioned, it will be live on NFHS, so those are the things to watch out for when you're watching. I'm here with guard Kanoa Ashley, and seeing you over there in warm-ups with the shooting ability, I mean, you've just really developed so much so far this year. Obviously, a transfer from collegiate. What's been the difference here?
It's really just, we all want to win. We got some great senior leaders on this team, and, we're just looking forward to a big opportunity tomorrow.
And you mentioned being a senior, season winding down, and you guys have certainly had a great one. What does it mean to you?
It's great, being able to come in here and have an impact, in the games, in practice, just, be a part of a family-like team. It's great.
Okay, thank you. As we mentioned, Hornets coming off a win over Mays South in their first game of the sub-state bracket, a 2-seed versus 4-seed matchup, and your Hornets handily dominated the second quarter on the boards, and really they shot well. I mean, it was a very fun game to watch. Here are some highlights. I'm here with head coach Ty Unral, and obviously great game played versus Mays South. What'd you like and what'd you dislike in that game?
I loved how our guys competed. We rose to the occasion as far as on the defensive end, communication, rebounding. We got in transition like we wanted to, and it built a lead. And we're able to hang on down the stretch when the pressure was amped up.
Well, and you mentioned transition game, and that's been one of your guys' keys so far this season. Obviously, Mays plays high-paced. How do you match that?
Yeah, Mays plays. They play faster. They play faster than a lot of the teams that we've played against. So we got to make sure we're communicating. We got to sprint back, protect the paint, and take good shots too. I mean, that's a big thing that helps out your transition defense is taking good shots around the basket, making sure you have good rebounding balance, and we're going to focus on those things today and into the game tomorrow.
And as a coach, this is your best season yet. What does it mean to you winding down here?
I'm happy for our guys, the way they've competed, and I'm happy for the investment that a lot of these guys have put in 4 years, and we're looking to finish strong, take advantage of the opportunity we have at Mays 3 o'clock.
Thank you. We've talked a lot about the upcoming matchup and the Hornets' previous matchup against Maize South. Obviously, big game coming up against Maize. Your Hornets sitting at 16-5, the Maize Eagles 19-3, and certainly an anticipated matchup. It will be tomorrow at 3 p.m. And Hornet Studios, by KSU rules, is not allowed to be there since it will be an away game, but it will be live on NFHS. If you get the Valley Center Hornets NFHS, it will include all the sports. So make sure to get that if you want to be able to watch the game live. And if you can't watch the game live, there will be Twitter updates occasionally throughout the game at the end of each quarter. So keep an eye out for that. And that's all here from Hornet Studios. I'm Caleb Rose, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Guy down low on the block. White, give me a guy down low on the block. Guy on the wing. Match up. Purple. Match here, match here. Match here, match here. Okay, I'll have the ball up top. We're going to work front. We're working front. Everybody's going to get this action. Reason why, because you're probably going to front. Everybody that's going to play is going to probably front post. So here's what we're going to do. We'll start on one side. We'll delay it. So this